Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. My name is Sarah and this is Count Your Stitches. Today's video is going to be about the basics of crocheting. How to make a slip knot to start off your project, whatever it may be, a sweater, a blanket, a scarf. You always want to start your project with a slip knot. And then I'm going to show how to make chains, and then how to turn and then make single crochets into the chains and the next couple rows, so you can see how to do these single crochets into a chain and then into a row. In today's yarn, I'm going to be using I Love This Chunky by Hobby Lobby. And for any crocheter, you want to check what hook size is recommended. You don't always have to use the hook that's recommended. Sometimes, depending on the project, you can size up or size down. It just becomes personal preference. This is 100% acrylic yarn, and it is very soft. This is self-color changing yarn. And I am going to be using a size 6 hook. What's recommended for this yarn is actually a 6.5 millimeter hook, but I prefer to use the size 6 millimeter hook for this kind of yarn. So let's start off with the slip knot. So what you want to do is you want to take it and you want to just turn it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to stick your fingers in the yarn and you want to grab this long piece, and you're then going to just pull. And it creates this adjustable loop, as you can see. And you can pull then either end, and it comes right out. So let me do that one more time for you. I want to take the yarn and twist it. You're going to take your pointer finger and your thumb. You're going to grab the long piece of yarn, grab it with your other hand, and you're just going to continue to pull. It doesn't matter how long this little tail piece is. You can always weave it in at the end of your project or cut it off. Okay, so you just want to adjust it a little bit, put your hook into the loop, and then adjust it a little bit more. If you are a beginner crocheter, I recommend not putting it as tight as you can on here. You would want to make it just a little bit looser until you develop how tight or how loose you make your chains and your stitches. Everybody has a different kind of preference. Now with holding the hook, there are a couple different holds. You can hold it like a knife, like you're cutting something, or you can hold it like a pencil. Sometimes I use either or. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. So how to do a chain is you want to have this piece of yarn, the working yarn is what it is called, on this side of your project. This you can also hold many different ways. I like to take it and loop it around my pointer finger on my left hand. So what you're going to do is you are going to take the yarn, wrap it around the hook. You're just going to take it and pull through. That creates a single chain. And you're just going to keep doing that. You're going to wrap the yarn around and pull through. When I first started crocheting, I could not get this step to save my life. But practice makes perfect with making chains. It depends on the size yarn and the size hook. You just got to keep trying. Wrap around and pull through that loop. Wrap around and pull through. So now I have 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. The slip knot at the beginning of your project does not count as a chain. That is a very important part to remember. So I'm going to do 16 chains. And every time you always want to count your chains. So you just want to count the loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The loop that is on your hook does not count as a chain, so we want to make one more. Whenever you're doing your project, if you're just making a simple chain, you always want to add in an extra chain for the turning chain, which is what creates the height for your row. That is why I did 15 chains. I want my project to be 15 stitches long. So I did 16 because the last number 16th chain counts as the turning chain. You can do as many chains as you want if you're just doing whatever project that you like. But typically with most patterns, what they will read is they will give you a stitch count, and if it's 36, then you do 36 chains, I'm sorry. And if you need to add on extra chains at the end for the height of the row, for double crochets or treble crochets, it's going to tell you. But typically, if you're reading a pattern, however many chains it tells you to make includes the last chain for a turning chain. So what you want to do is we are not going to do a single crochet into this one. We are going to do it in this one. So all you do is you take your hook and you put it in between these two. It just goes right in there. And then you wrap your yarn around your hook and you pull through. So then you have 2 loops on your chain. So then you need to yarn over again, and you're gonna pull through both loops on the hook. And there you go, you just made your first single crochet. Then you want to go into the middle of this chain. You're just going to stick your hook in there, yarn over, and pull through. So then you have 2 loops on the hook again, yarn over, and pull through. Now you have 2 chains. You're going to keep doing that until you are at the end of the row. So this is the first row of the project, 15 stitches, and you can count them. How you want to count a row is same as you counted the chain. You want to look at this part. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is the last one. You always want to make sure that you are counting. Count your stitches, count your chains. If you do not count, you might miss a stitch or you might accidentally add one, and it might mess up your pattern or your project, whatever you're working on, and nobody likes it when that happens. Okay, now I will show you how to do a chain and turn your row and work the single crochets back into that row. What I've found to keep the edges straight on any project is you want to chain 1 before you turn. So you want to do the chain how you would make a normal chain. just pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull the yarn through to make that loop. And then you turn your work. You can turn it either clockwise, counterclockwise, however you want. That does not matter. So this is the back of the project. You can tell that it looks different than the front with this particular yarn. The back sometimes at first does not look as flattering as the front, but that all kind of blends together once you keep working through your project. So in order to start doing single crochets into this row, you want to do it in the first one. You can do it in the back little loop here, the front one, or you can go through both. Typically for a regular project, I like to do both. If you do it in just one throughout your whole project, it creates little ridges, and that is particularly used in the bands of crocheted hats and other things like that. So all you do is like a normal single crochet like I just showed you into the chain. You're going to make sure that it goes all the way through. You're going to yarn over and pull up. So you have the 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through both of them again. You're going to do that again. Push your hook through, yarn over, pull up. So you have 1 and 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through both. You're going to keep doing that until you're at the end of the row. And then when you get to the end of your project, this is typically a little bit harder. You are going to go in right here, insert your hook, pull through, insert your hook, and pull through. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches in this row, which is the stitch count that we started with the first row. So then to keep going, you are going to wrap your yarn around and pull through and make that chain and turn your work. Go into that first loop, wrap your yarn around, pull through, wrap your yarn around, and pull through. And that's basically how you do any single crochet project. A smaller swatch like this is sometimes needed for different kinds of patterns if you're doing different kinds of stitches, just to get the correct gauge on your project. So let's keep going. Now, this is where sometimes people get a little messed up. This right here is your last stitch you need to go into. You don't need to go anything over onto this side. That is the side of your project. So you're just going to insert your hook like normal, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through. As you can see how the edges are straight on that side, and the edges are straight on this side. You always want to count your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Typically with some projects at the beginning, if you are a tighter crocheter like me, you will notice that it kind of curves a little bit. That typically happens because the chain is looser than the stitch itself, which happens a lot, and it is very easy to fix. It's a very easy habit to break, and it most of the time will work out as you're going through your project. And that's it. That is how to make a slip knot to start your project, how to do chain stitches, and how to do single crochets, chain and turn, and work single crochets into the next row. Thank you for watching, and as always, like and subscribe the video and click that little bell button so you get alerted for when new videos are posted. Thank you.